What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here. Welcome and hope you guys are doing well. So guys, tonight is all about Death Knight and I've made some really cool discoveries I can't wait to share with you guys. Plus, I have a really cool solo for Death Knight that is the Hard Griffin. So guys, here's another cool thing that's happening here. So not only is Ultimate Death Knight absorbing damage like he should from his passive, from that single target attack of Trunda, but notice here it says weak on Ultimate Death Knight. That means he's going through an affinity check before he takes the damage from that transferred attack. That's super cool. That means in this instance, every single target attack not only goes to Ultimate Death Knight, but it undergoes an affinity check. And since Ultimate Death Knight is the stronger affinity, there'll be a lot of weak hits. So this makes him super powerful for somebody like the Griffin in this rotation. So here's the crazy thing. Because Ultimate Death Knight's transfer damage undergoes that affinity check before the damage actually hits him, you can do a lot of funky stuff with affinity. You can actually get weak hits when it's not supposed to be a weak hit. Notice Trunda is the same affinity as a Griffin here. She's not supposed to get a weak hit, but it turns into a weak hit when it hits Ultimate Death Knight. There's just so many possibilities here. It is really awesome. Think about it, guys. Weak affinity champs for the Griffin here, which would be Spirit Affinity. Those type of champs are more viable in the Griffin fight because at least for those single target attacks, Ultimate Death Knight will be absorbing the damage and taking very little of it because a lot of times he will be getting the weak hit from those transferred hits. Like I said, guys, just so many possibilities with this discovery. All right, guys, on to the discovery that I made, and it still deals with this passive. And what is it? It's basically this. Let me show you another screenshot. So what's happening here? Notice the target is changed as far as the damage. So yes, Ultimate Death Knight's passive is working. He's taking the damage that's intended for Trunda. But notice what's happening on Ultimate Death Knight. You see a resist there, resisting that fear from the A1 shockwave of the Griffin. So not only does Ultimate Death Knight undergo an affinity check before he takes damage, but he also can potentially take the debuff as well. So not only does the transfer of damage happen, but the transfer of debuff is happening too. Now in this case, because I have Ultimate Death Knight with Lava Resistance, he's resisting it. But that passive of Ultimate Death Knight allows him to transfer debuffs from those attacks as well as the damage itself. So guys, notice in the description here that nothing is said about him absorbing the debuffs of another character. It only talks about the transference of damage. But yes, Ultimate Death Knight is actually absorbing the debuffs from those single target attacks as well onto himself, redirecting them away from your other champions. So guys, this is absolutely huge. Single target attacks against allies will not transfer debuffs to those allies when Ultimate Death Knight is on your team. Those debuffs will go to Ultimate Death Knight. And if you make him with high resist like I did, he will resist those debuffs. So he's protecting your allies from debuffs as well as damage from single target attacks. So guys, my mind is blown as to how good this passive works. It works so much better than the description. Now guys, what I'm going to show you is an Ultimate Death Knight solo for the Griffin Hard 30. Now, I'm going to test it on the higher levels and I'll let you guys know, but chances are it's going to work out pretty well because of his other passive here. So basically, when allies die, let's say he's soloing on purpose, you bring in weak champs to die, he gets buffs to his HP, defense, and speed. So this makes him a great solo champion. But remember guys, Ultimate Death Knight will work really well against the Griffin in a team capacity as well because of his passive and how well it works. It works so much better than described here. So because of that, yes, you can use him in a team against the Griffin and he's going to work really well. But if you want to solo with him, you're going to get the benefit of this passive as well to make him just so much tougher when his allies die. So whether it's solo or team, definitely Ultimate Death Knight is great against the Griffin. So as far as the gear that have Ultimate Death Knight in, I have him in Regeneration and Immortal sets. Onto his total stats. And remember, his HP, defense, and speed will be boosted when allies die. So for his HP, I have him at 50,000. For his attack, I have him at 1,600, which is a useless stat for Ultimate Death Knight. His defense, 5,000. I have his speed at 213. I have the crit rate 38%, crit damage 102%, resistance 242, and accuracy 276. So as far as books, yes, I do have my Ultimate Death Knight booked out, but I don't really think it's necessary to book him out, especially for a solo against the Griffin. Now, yes, you will get that decreased attack off more often with that reduced cooldown if you do book him out, and you will get that shield up more often. So that's good to get those continuous heals up. But still, I don't think it's necessary against the Griffin, in particular because of his affinity. He's going to get a ton of weak hits, and with that regeneration and the Immortal gear, it's going to heal him up a lot. So yes, maybe for the upper levels, you might want to have him booked out for that decreased attack and the shields more often and that continuous heal. But beyond that, I really don't think it's necessary, in particular for normal Griffin. So if you want to solo a normal Griffin with Ultimate Death Knight, I definitely don't think books are required. On to his masteries. So down the offense tree, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the support tree, I do like lasting gifts, so that shield, not continuous heal. Instead of it being 2 turns, it's potentially 3 turns with lasting gifts. And I definitely like Master Hexer as well, so that decreased attack, we're gonna have that up for potentially 3 turns instead of 2 turns. Now, as far as the skill instructions for Ultimate Death Knight for the Griffin, there are none. He's basically on full auto the whole time. And I do pair him with Trunda just to help him get through the waves. Can he get through the waves by himself? Yes, he can, but the run would take way too long. So it's helpful to bring in people that are kind of frail, that are kind of glass cannony, so they're going to die. So you're going to see me bring in Trunda with some food with Ultimate Death Knight, and Trunda dies off pretty early. Alright guys, that's gonna be it. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you think about these crazy new discoveries for Ultimate Death Knight. So thanks for watching, and if you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on all notifications. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.